Peace. Today is Monday, November 19th. Making today's math.
Knowledge born, all being born to knowledge cipher, all being born to knowledge.
That's right. You make your knowledge born and bring that knowledge through other ciphers and create more knowledge. That's what we do out here in life. Peace. All right, peace.
Peace.
Welcome back to the Not a Mean Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
I'm Digga.
We got Fact Checker Rage in the house.
Present.
We got my man, sound man extraordinaire, Alex, in the place to be.
What's going on, y'all?
Rocking his brand Nubian hat. Looking real good on you,
course,
brother. And we got my man Harold in the house.
What's up?
We got the merch up here, front and center for all our people out here in internet's land. And we back. You looking real born to born, sister.
Thank you, brother.
You looking like you got your 3/4. You know what I mean?
Claw.
Yeah.
No kinky boots this
Nah,
week.
we want that earth covered by 3/4 of water, okay?
all the time.
Protect you from those rays, from the harmful rays out there.
Right
okay.
on.
So anyway, we're gonna get right to it. Today we have a guest by the name of Paul Guthrie. Now, before I bring him on, let's just do some quick history real quick. Okay, so as everyone knows, I am a member of the Nation of Gods and Earths, the 5% Nation. I've been dealing with this knowledge most of my life from a young teenager. Needless to say, I've had influences with, Nation Islam, those are our brothers. We see these as our brothers. We study the same lessons. Our 120 lessons comes from the Nation of Islam lessons. Now, these lessons, originally the Nation of Islam was started by W.D. Farad and Elijah Muhammad. W.D. Farad was the teacher. Elijah was the student, basically. It is said by people in the Nation of Islam that W.D. Farad was Allah in person, that, came here in person to teach, the black man in the wilderness of North America the knowledge of himself, the lost knowledge of himself, and that Elijah Muhammad was his messenger. Now, within the lessons that we study, it is said that W.D. Farad, who some also called Master Farad Muhammad, that he originates and comes from the holy city of Mecca in Arabia. Now, within our lessons, there's certain things that allude to where he comes from, as far as, like distances that are referenced within our lessons and all that, his name, as far as being Wallace D. Ford, there's a lot of things that go into this, and right now, for certain people, this might feel like a ripping off of a Band-Aid or something like that. I just want to just state unequivocally, we have love here for Master Farad and the Nation of Islam. And I'm not here to try to be disrespectful to anybody or anything like that, but I am here to always uncover truth wherever that truth may lead me. Okay? So with that being said, I came across some information and some videos from a brother named Paul Guthrie, who we're about to bring in right this moment. And, I think this is something we need to share amongst our community, have a dialogue. I know for you, you're like a layman to this. You as well, Rage. A lot of people in this room might be laymen to this. So there's people that have been following this issue for a while, but then we need the average person to just strive to follow along with what's going on right now too. So just attempt to take this in. You see what I'm saying? About what we're about to build on.
So I'll be asking questions on behalf of the people that don't have a clue. Although I do have a clue. Like, I know, you're gonna have to stop sometimes and just kind of like speak, Islam for dummies.
That's okay. So and another point of contention that the brother has brought up was what W.D. Farrar, what he was teaching, was it truly Islam, or did it actually lean more towards Buddhism? Okay. This is radical thinking for some people.
Heresy for others.
Exactly. Yes, it is. Shout out to everybody that's in the room right now. We got love for everybody, but we getting ready to bring our brother Paul Guthrie on right about now. And we going to welcome him to the Godcast. All right, so we're here with our guest, Paul Guthrie. Unfortunately, we don't have him on the video, but we do have him on audio. How are you, Brother Guthrie?
I'm doing well. And the reason that I'm not on video is completely unknown, right?
Yeah.
We don't know why the stream isn't working.
Rod Digger believes it's because Mercury is about to go into retrograde.
That's probably it.
Yeah, and like we're literally like 2 days away.
It's a toss-up between that or the powers that be trying to stop this information from coming out.
And who are the powers that be, Rod Digger?
PTB posse, PTB and them.
All right, so listen, welcome to the Godcast. Thank you for coming on. So before you get started, I know you want to clear some things up initially. When I put out this flyer that you were going to be on, I actually was contacted by my brother Wakil Allah, who's actually in the house right now. Peace to Wakil. And he contacted me about having Dr. Wesley Muhammad come on this program as well, to basically to refute certain things you may have to say tonight. And so whatever, we went back and forth. I talked to you, I talked to them, and we came to the conclusion that we're going to have a debate in another 2 weeks. You're going to come tonight, present your case. The brother Wesley Muhammad will come next week and present his case. And then the following week, we will have a long-awaited debate that many people in the conscious community have been waiting for. Yes?
Well, I did accept his challenge to debate. And the thing is, he has not stated anywhere publicly that he will debate. He's saying on this update it's going to be some type of a dialogue. So that's taking the words and changing them from what you understood.
They're saying they can't hear Brother Paul. Sorry for cutting you off real quick. They're saying
they're not going to be able to hear.
Oh, they're not going to hear him. Oh, all right. Sorry, at home, you're going to have to wait for this. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so they're saying that there is a debate. Well, I mean, you're saying he wants to debate. He has not he did challenge me. However, he's not saying that there is a debate. I don't see anywhere where he says that he is going to debate. He's saying he is accepting somebody else's invitation, and I don't know who else invited him to come on anything.
Well, me and my brother Reality spoke to him last night, and we're going to a debate was agreed to. A debate was agreed to. He's willing to debate you.
He hasn't done that. I don't see any I'm saying publicly, I am willing to debate him. I will accept the challenge to debate him.
And you're saying that's all you want to do. You don't want to have a discussion. You only want to debate.
it's not possible to have dialogue unless word is bond. So if it is a debate, he should say that it is a debate, and don't change it to a dialogue. It's a big difference. A dialogue is different from a debate. I don't mind having dialogues. That's usually what I do have. However, he agreed that it would be a debate, and now he's changed it. In the public, he's changed it to a dialogue. So I don't want words to be flipped and changed like that. If it is a debate, if you understand it is a debate, and he understood it, that should be made public. He should state publicly that it is a debate. Dr. Wesley Muhammad, the representative of Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. If he wants to debate me, I'm willing to debate him.
Okay, well.
At any time. What you do with him next week, that's fine. That's on his own time. He can.
Okay,
it's fine.
Well, in the interest of time, he has said that to me he will debate, and we'll get to the part of him publicly saying that at another time. Right now, we want to get down to the nitty gritty, to the information that you have to offer.
Yes, sir.
It's such a shame that the people on Shindig cannot hear this right now. Goodness gracious.
Well, let them know that you're going to rebroadcast it. Is that correct?
Well, that's definitely going to be rebroadcast, but I'm just saying.
Okay,
Shindig
and I'm sorry.
People, we had some technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, y'all going to have to hear this when we put it out. Sorry.
Right. Once the segment actually airs on its physical day, which would be Monday of next week, like it'll have all the bells and whistles and video necessary to correlate with the show. So don't worry. This is just a more, personal take in real time that we do with our viewers. But the actual show segment will be airing next Monday, and they'll see you and hear everything you're speaking.
So right now, let's get into the nitty gritty. As someone who, my first real exposure to knowledge of self was kind of through Nation of Islam literature. I read Message to the Black Man early. I read How to Eat to Live, Supreme Wisdom, Our Savior Has Arrived. All of these books were things that helped shape my youth even before I came into the knowledge of myself as a 5%er. I think the only thing that really stopped me from being, like a Muslim in the NOI was the fact that I was just pretty young and I wasn't ready for that type of discipline. I was still a street dude. I wasn't ready to put on a suit and all of that. I wanted to still hang out and mess with girls and smoke weed, but I wanted that knowledge, you see? And so a brother who was initially giving it to me, an older brother by the name of Bar Kim, he took me out to Mosque number 7 out in when it was out in Utica Avenue in Brooklyn. And this is when Jesse Jackson was running for president, and we went out there to support him as the NOI and all this type of stuff. But I ended up going with the gods. But some Master Farad Muhammad, W.D. Farad, is somebody near and dear to us. And in our lessons, it states that the root of civilization is in the holy city of Mecca in Arabia. I've always been taught that W.D. Farad came from the holy city of Mecca in Arabia. This is what I've always been taught, and and from what we understand, we know that this is not traditional Islam, but we've always been taught that Farad taught the people Islam. So tell me, Brother Paul, what new information you feel you have to bring to the table on this subject.
Thank you, and I want to start this by saying that I've studied the nation and the nation has had a very strong, positive influence on many, many people. And the teachings of W.D. Farad is what drives those teachings. W.D. Farad is the one who crafted those lessons. He wrote those lessons. And he taught students. He taught thousands of students. in both Detroit and Chicago. And I'm one of those students in that I study the teachings of W.D. Farad. I study what he taught, and it has had a big influence on me.
But you were not a member of the Nation of Islam, correct?
I'm not a registered Muslim. I never have been a registered Muslim.
Okay, just to be clear.
Now, you had mentioned that you were taught that W.D. Farad comes from Mecca.
Correct.
Where is that in the 120? Where is that in the Supreme Wisdom Lessons? That's not part of what W.D. Farad taught. I don't see that in the Supreme Wisdom Lessons. And so all I'm doing is asking the question, who's coming up with this? Who's saying that he's from there? And why is it that he's not saying he's from there? That's just one point on something that you just mentioned. He never says he's from Mecca, Arabia, in those lessons, in the lessons that he left for us to study.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it says the root of civilization is in the holy city of Mecca.
Yes, sir.
What about that? Let's talk about just about that.
Okay.
Can the root of civilization be at the holy city of Mecca? How old is the holy city of Mecca?
Yes, except the holy city of Mecca is not the one in Arabia with the Kaaba in it. That city wasn't built until after the fall of Rome. So Rome falls in about 476, between 410 and 476 AD, after the death of Jesus, or after the Christian era, if one wants to say Christian era. 400 plus years after the beginning of the Christian era, Mecca appears in the records. Historically, Mecca does not exist prior to that. There's no evidence of it prior to that. It wasn't known by the people of ancient Kemet, Egypt, and they were all over that place. If it was there, why didn't they mention it? Why didn't they know anything about it if it was there? So for something to be the root is that from which other things grow or come out of. There was many civilizations much older than that city called Mecca, Arabia. That you don't find that until after the fall of Rome. So I don't see how that would be called the root of civilization.
Is Mecca in the desert? Isn't Mecca in the desert? Isn't it in the desert? I'm just
yeah.
It is.
It's in a desert climate.
Right.
Except desert climate or semi-desert climate doesn't really tell us all that much, because I'm in a desert. San Diego, California, where I live, is a semi-desert.
Right.
Except there's trees, there's plants, because there's water brought into San Diego, so they transformed. And Mecca is in what is today a semi-desert or desert region.
I have a question.
Real quick, my brother Rage right here has a question for you.
You said that Rome fell like around 424 AD, right?
I can live with that, yeah. I didn't say 424, but it fell in the 5th century. There's questions as to when Rome fell, because it didn't fall with one fell sweep. It fell over a period of time. And so at what point someone wants to say that constitutes the fall of Rome, different people are going to say it was 410, it was 476, or any point in between that.
What's your question, Ray?
That was the question. So this predates the Byzantine Empire, obviously, right? This is way before then, Constantine and all that.
What's this question?
Yeah, no, I'm clear with you. The other thing is, regarding where Mecca is and who founded the city, where does the story of Ishmael, the descendant of Abraham, come in? Because, according to the Abrahamic ideology...
You're taking us off course right now.
I am?
Yeah,
okay.
Way off course.
Okay, my bad.
We're talking about W.D. Farad.
Well, he mentioned Mecca.
Yeah, right. But he just mentioned Mecca just to say that
Facts.
within the lessons that the lessons that we've learned,
right.
It states that Mecca is the root of civilization. We're just saying, and he's just saying basically that can't be true because it didn't exist long enough to be considered the root of civilization. But we're sticking our questions to W.D. Farrar and what's stated in the lessons that we've learned. I don't know about Ishmael and all these other.
Okay, well, let me ask a simpler question. Is it possible that this place always did exist and it just was renamed because, Istanbul was once Constantinople? Like, is it possible that, Mecca just became, the name after some other folks named it that, but it was always something else?
Did you hear that, Paul?
Yes, I did. That's a great question. And yes, that is possible. However, there's nothing to substantiate it. There's no evidence. It is possible that New York City existed back 300 BC. That's possible.
Okay.
But there's no evidence to substantiate it, right? So I'm using a very extreme example. New York City did not exist in 300 BC.
Okay.
Is it possible? Sure, it's possible.
Well, listen, we
there's no evidence. It's not probable. Now, I'm not saying that lesson is wrong. If you listen to that lesson, it says that Mecca, it gives the location, and the location, whenever Mecca is described in the lessons, it describes the Indus Valley region of India, which is north of the Indian Ocean.
Okay.
And it was also known as Mleccha. Mm-hmm. The ancients knew about this ancient civilization that is the root of civilization on the Asian continent. And so the root of civilization in Asia, not in Africa, not all over the world, but the root of civilization in Asia is Mleccha. And it is located in the location that is prescribed in those lessons, that is described in those lessons. It is also 9,000 miles by water from the eastern seaboard of the United States, which is the distance that W.D. Farrar traveled.
Now, listen, I wanted to talk about distances when we come back because we got to go to break real quick. So when we come back, I want to talk about that 9,000 miles that's in the lessons where it says, in the 1 to 36 that we couldn't, swim the 9,000 miles. Also, in the culture degree, in the 1 to 14 where it talks about why do we run Yaqub and his maid devil over the hot Arabian desert into the caves of West Asia, as they now call Europe. We also know there's a plus degree that goes with that. We always called it General Monk, first of all. I know that you say General Muck, and it was probably mucked up around, the pronunciation of it. But as far as in the 5% nation, I always knew that plus degree as General Monk. But in that lesson, we talk about the 2,200 miles, and we made him walk every step of the way. So we're going to talk about that when we come back from break, because I want to get into that, because that also goes into why the holy city of Mecca, according to you, could not be the root of civilization that's being spoken about in 120 lessons. So we'll get to that when we come back. Peace. It's the absence of all confusion. United we stand, divided we fall. 2 fingers together is the real peace sign, y'all. Brand Nubian peace gear. Hoodies. T-shirts. snapbacks. Available at hoodcheat.com. Get yours today.